All right. So as you guys can see, we are starting the Kitsap Housing and Homeless Coalition meeting. So glad that you can join us today. For all of you folks on Facebook, please share, subscribe, so that and set your alerts so you always get the alerts. You don't ever want to miss an episode. Lots of good information, and I know today is going to be a really good, uh, let's say, meeting. Not an event, right? It's a meeting, but there's going to be a lot of good information today. So thank you all for joining us. So Lisa's gonna allow a few more people to check in, and then we're gonna get going with the meeting.
All right. I'm gonna do some logistical stuff first before we get to our little community builder. And oh, I don't have to do logistical stuff. No, I do. Just kidding, everyone. Let me share the agenda with you. We don't have any notes to approve because last month was our virtual celebration of the Kitsap Housing and Homelessness Coalition awardees. I'm hoping that we can reconvene in person in March to do that in a abbreviated way, just to get together and celebrate people. But we had a really nice meeting. No notes need to be approved. And let me just share my screen so that you can see the agenda today. And today, about the working families tax credit. And we also have a presentation about Project Connect, which is coming up at the end of the month, and also the point and time count. At the end of the meeting, we'll have agency updates. So I'll prompt you all to put your name in the chat if you have an agency update to share. And I just want to start with a statement of our vision, mission, and values, and gratitude for the team that supports this coalition meeting. So the coalition's vision: every person in our community has a safe, decent, stable, and appropriate home. Our mission: the Kitsap Housing and Homelessness Coalition provides leadership to end homelessness through planning, coordination among social service providers, advocacy, and education. And our values: the coalition strives to carry out our mission with respect, commitment, compassion, integrity, and a willingness to change. Please know that we will be recorded, so that anyone who is not able to attend this meeting has a chance to view it. Thanks to Marwan Cameron and posting this on his Conduit podcast, which is a great resource of community information if you have not checked it out yet. I also want to extend thanks and introduce to those of you who may not know who's on the executive team. So I'm Lisa Lechuga, I'm your chair. Matt Garrett from KCR is the vice chair. Priya Cherry from the library is the secretary. And we get a lot of support and consultation from Bridget Glasspool at Kitsap Mental Health Services, Katie Sharp at Bremerton Housing Authority, Leaf Wagner from Kitsap Mental Health, and Kirsten Joel from Kitsap County. So thank you very much to those people for helping us present the best ways for us to share information as possible. And then one last reminder to everyone. We are transitioning from sending Outlook invites from my library email, and we are hoping that you all can just register via Zoom. So the meeting link is also the registration link. You only need to register once, and then that link will be your Zoom meeting link. I believe once you're registered, you'll get notified with our newsletter and all the meeting updates. So, and you can also add it to your own calendar if you prefer. If you need to contact or have any questions for myself or anyone on the Housing and Homelessness Coalition, you can email us at admin@kitsaphhc.org. If you want to subscribe to the list, you can go to this short link here. And if you have not seen the Kitsap Housing and Homelessness Coalition website, we have one, and we're looking for input on ways to improve and help you find the information that you need. So know that at the end of the agenda, all that information is there for you as well. So I'm going to stop sharing and take a look at the chat. And thanks all for indulging me in these community builders. It's hard to get to know each other as well as we want on Zoom. And so I thank you for sharing a little bit. So something that you're looking forward to this year. Anna Mockler from Bremerton City Council District 6 is looking forward to a roof over every head in 2023. Thank you. Robert Wilson with the Eagles Wings Coordinated Care, and one thing he's looking forward to in 2023 is going digital at work. Cool. Katie Sharp is looking forward to warm weather. Aren't we all? Although we need the rain. Shannon Turner from PCHS. She's got an update here. She's opening the Medical Respite Center early. Bridget Glasspool from Kitsap Mental Health is looking forward to vacation. We should all take our vacation. Yeah. From Jasmine, Housing Solution Center, she is looking forward to saving money. Eric is here from Salvation Army. Daniel is here from Eagles Wings. Sean Nye is here from Scarlet Road. Michelle J. Rowe from Kitsap Transit is looking forward to warm weather. Jessica Campbell from Housing Resources Bainbridge is looking forward to clam. Okay. Um, Linda Hollingsworth from WorkSource Kitsap Veterans is looking forward to the whole new 2023 year. Roland Harper, one of our awardees, is looking forward to more snow. Nice, Roland. Thanks for switching it up. Um, Amy is here from North Kitsap Fish Line. Jerry Delaney from Coffee Oasis. Thanks for being here. Chuck Smack is here, and he is looking forward to finding solid solutions to affordable housing and ending unneeded homelessness. Yes, second that. Um, Amita Spencer is our presenter today. She is here. Brenda Johnson from Kitsap Community Resources is looking forward to having time for herself to do fun things in the evenings due to a recent schedule change. Carla Foster from KCR is here. Bernice Petty from WDVA. You're going to have to help me with that acronym. Building 10 transitional houses for veterans in Port Orchard. So she has a community update. And we also will have time for agency updates at the end of the meeting.
Hey Lisa, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is Priya. I don't think you made me a host, and there may be people in the waiting room. I'm gonna try to claim host from you right now.
Okay.
Just kidding. I can't do that. Can you just give me the host?
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of people waiting.
Yeah, sorry. I'm keeping an eye on it, but there's no way to let them in.
Okay. Let me make you co-host. There we go. Oh, I'm making Corey co-host. Where's Priya?
As long as someone's co-host, that's fine.
That's right. Welcome everyone. We're just sharing a little bit of fun community builder, and I'm making Priya my co-host. There we go. All right, where did we leave off? Oh yes, Jason from Kitsap County Aging and Long-Term from Human Services is looking forward to the Mariners baseball in 2023 and some of those more altruistic goals that the rest of us have. Thank you. We need to have fun too, Jason. All right. Aminta, our presenter today, is looking forward to getting people signed up for the Working Family Tax Credit. Yes, like let's get them the resources they need and can take advantage of. Jeff from Bremerton City Council is looking forward to my toddler talking up a storm in 2023. Yes. Candace is here today with Veterans Housing Retention Program with the WDVA. Carla from KCR is here, and she's looking forward to her daughter graduating from high school and what college she will attend. Chris from DSHS is looking forward to outdoor activities and sports. Kirsten Joel from the Housing and Homelessness Division at Kitsap County is looking forward to working with all of us in 2023. Let's see. Michael Akey, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right, is sharing for a friend of housing. So he's got some resources in the chat. Check those out, everyone. And also looking forward to watching their little one grow up even more and attempting to show her how to be a good person. Eric Harold is here today, and he is asking the question, is there anything from FHPM here today? I'm not sure, Eric. Do you want to speak a little bit more to that? I think you just muted yourself.
Okay, sorry, how's that?
Perfect.
Okay. So the FHPM is the Foundation for Homeless and Poverty Management. And I didn't know if there's anybody, Mr. Jackson, I think runs that. And we're looking for people that might have some resources to help with evening meals after April May when the nighttime shelter will no longer be running. And when we're trying to cut back to our normal operation where we have breakfast and lunch, and then usually they've been a community partner to do the evening meals. So we have some gaps in that. My Lord's Neighborhood Diner is one of them that used to be on Saturday, which is no more. So but there are others, and I was hoping that maybe the Foundation for Homeless and Poverty Management, I know they have a day room. I thought they might be able to help with a place to serve a meal from. So that's why I was asking.
Thanks, Eric. I think what I will do is like I'll put you at the top of the agency updates just so you can share a little bit more about what's occurring with Salvation Army, and we can see if we can get some people on the chat if they have resources to share with you. Does that sound like a good plan? All right, thank you. So moving forward, getting back to Jessica, who is looking forward to clam. She meant to say calm, everyone, not clam. And Matt Garrett is here. Brenda Johnson, saw him. Welcome, Matt. Madison from Kitsap Homes of Compassion is here. And Michael gave me grace in pronouncing his last name. I thank you for that. And I am looking forward to at the library, at the Denton Bremerton location, we are going to onboard 3 interns this week. And I'm really looking forward to that. We have an internship where they do a project, and this is the first year we're piloting them, supporting branch activities. They are young adults, 16 to 25, so I'm pumped about that. All right, everyone. To honor our presenters' time, I'm going to get started. So Anita Spencer is here with us today from the Working Families Tax Credit. Anita, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, it's Aminta. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect.
I'm going to give the floor to you. You should be able to share your PowerPoint presentation, but I have it up as a backup if you don't have it.
I think it'll work. We'll see.
Okay.
Let me check.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you. Okay, can you see that? Yes. Yeah. Okay, so this is first of all, I'm Aminta Spencer, and my pronouns are she, her. I work for the Department of Revenue, and I do outreach for the Working Families Tax Credit. So the Working Families Tax Credit is a new tax credit, and it's given to low to moderate income families and individuals. It was enacted through House Bill 1297, and it basically provides for refund on sales taxes paid throughout the year. The payments do go according to income and the amount of children you have, if you have any children, and we start receiving applications February 1. However, you can apply before then. It's just that February 1 is when we'll actually start looking at them. Okay, so who qualifies? To qualify for this credit, you need a few things. One, you have to file a federal return. So you need to file your 2022 taxes here, this year before the April date, or if you're getting an extension before the end of that extension. You have to have a valid social security number or ITIN. And that, you need one of those to file your taxes anyway. So that kind of goes hand in hand with filing the return. You have to qualify for the earned income tax credit. You don't have to claim it though. Basically, that means that you fall within certain income guidelines. You do have to be between the ages of 25 and 65 years old unless you have a qualifying child. If you have a qualifying child, those ages don't matter. And right now in the legislature, they are working on trying to lower that age from 25 to 18, but we don't know if if that is going to pass or not. So for now, it's 25 to 65. And you have to have lived in Washington for at least half of a year or 183 days. I'm sorry. These are the income guidelines. So if you look at it, on the left hand side, you'll have the number of children. Then the single, if you're filing single, then if you're married, filing jointly, and lastly, the maximum amount of the credit you can receive. So for a single person, the income is really very low. So that's probably someone who is working part time. Excuse me. But as you move on, for having one, two, or three children, the amount does increase significantly, and so I think that there will be a lot of folks that will qualify for the program, given this level of income. Okay, so the way you apply, there are a few different ways. One, you can go to a tax preparer. So if you usually have your taxes done at one of the regular tax preparers, Jackson Hewitt, H&R Block, Liberty, all of those, they will file it for you. They can do it themselves. If you use TaxSlayer, TurboTax, any of those that you do your taxes yourself, well, what will happen is, excuse me, as you're going through your federal return, it'll pop up and it'll say, it looks like you live in Washington, you might qualify for this credit. Do you want to apply? And then it'll ask you a series of questions, or it will reroute you to the Department of Revenue website. Another way you could do it, you could go onto the Department of Revenue website and you can apply there. And lastly, you can also, if you're one of those folks that does your taxes by hand on paper, then you can either print off an application from the website. You can pick them up at the DOR offices, the different satellites, and we will also have them available in pretty much all the libraries in Washington, or at least we're trying to get there. One thing to note is that the applications are, I think we have 17 different languages, and the application and the instructions to fill out the application are in those languages. Right now, part of the community outreach that we're doing on the website, there's a eligibility checker. There is a page that has all of our resources. So you can find their promotional videos. They're really short, I think 12-second videos. They have videos on how to fill out the application. We have social media posts that you can just grab from there and put on your own webpage. We have all the different flyers. We have infographics, just all kinds of oh, information that you can grab from there. We are partnering with local and community-based organizations. So, for example, this one, and then we have a group of other organizations that actually receive grant money so that they could do outreach for the tax credit. Right now, we have the state divided up into four different regions. I work the Southwest region in Washington, so Kitsap County is one of the counties that I work that I do outreach in. But we do have three other areas. One of them is Northwest Washington, and now we just recently hired somebody. I think he started yesterday or the day before, and his name is Francisco. On the east side is Raquel, and in the central part is Stephanie. So all of us, you can reach out to any of us. Oh, and then Bedla is the outreach manager. Okay, so the reason to speak to you guys is to hope that you will get involved in spreading the word about the tax credit, even if you don't feel that you know anyone, with the folks the clients that you have that might qualify, you yourself might qualify. You might have a family member or a friend that, when you look at the guidelines, the income guidelines, you see might qualify. So any any outreach you could do, any mentioning it, for us, that would be great, just to let people know what it is. We are aiming for a high degree of participation. So the rate for the earned income tax credit, the federal one, it has a 70% rate of participation. They're estimating that this one will only have 40% the first year, but we are going to try to bring that up, hopefully to match the 70%, if not more. This credit is available from now on every year. The other thing too is if you forget to file, you have this particular credit, you have until the end of 2023 to request the credit. Here are some of our email addresses and for you to send us comments or if you have any questions. Our website is bilingual English Spanish, and we do have landing pages in other languages, but it's not fully bilingual. You can on our web page, on our website, you can ask for a speaker, and you can also ask for flyers or applications emailed to you if you want to have them. Lastly, that's my contact information, and then Bedla, who's the outreach manager, is there too. In the chat, I have placed the web address or the link for the website and also for the resources so that you could, if you wanted to go in and look at the different flyers and those kinds of things, you can. So if anybody has any questions, let me know.
Thank you, Amita. So is the best place we're referring if people have queries just to the website?
If they feel comfortable using the website, yeah. Otherwise, you can send them to me or to anybody else in the outreach team. There's also our phone number is on the website, so using the call center, any of those is fine.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the coalition? Thank you so much for sharing this information, Amita. I'm excited that there's more support for working families. Okay. Next.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay. We have another presentation going up, and I just want to mention that in chat, Marwan from Gather Together, Grow Together says that they are also supporting people in navigating working families tax credit. Did you want to share more about that, Marwan?
Yes, just that we will be supporting this effort. And so,
Marwan, I'm going to stop you. I can't hear what you're saying. You're coming in like very low volume. I think for the moment, Marwan, maybe in agency updates, you can share a little bit more if you need to. Sorry also if I put you on the spot there. You just mentioned that, and so it'd be good to know a little bit more. We have another presentation. So Project Connect is happening in 1 week after a hiatus during the initial years of the pandemic. Kirsten Jewell is here to share information, and we had invited Terry, but we're having some communication issues with her, and I hear that Shannon is heading the project team for Project Connect, and so Shannon, I don't want to put you on the spot, but this might be a moment to share any key or relevant information, and so I'll leave the floor starting with Kirsten, and Shannon, please feel free to add in.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sounds good. Yep. Go ahead, Shannon.
Oh, hey. Hey, oh, I thought you were gonna take it, Kirsten.
Oh, well, why don't you take it since you're, kind of chairing the group, this year, and I can just fill in any, additional information if needed.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you and appreciate everybody being here. For the Project Connect this year, we have the dates of the 24th at North Kitsap at Gateway, the 25th at the Salvation Army, and the 26th at South Kitsap at the United Methodist Church, I believe. The events there, we are currently looking for volunteers at each location for each event. If you would like to volunteer, we are putting flyers out everywhere as possible, getting everybody in the know as well. And then we also have vendors. I believe we have close to, I want to say, between 30, 36 vendors that are showing up. So we got great support for the vendors coming out. This is something that we are first time in 2 years trying to get everything back. Kirsten has done a great job along with Terry to make these events happen. Kirsten will also be doing a point in time count on the 26th, where we also need volunteers to help out with that as well. We are great effort as far as partnering up with local resources and everything. We appreciate everybody coming out. So if you would like to volunteer, please reach out to myself or Kirsten or Terry to let us know what you can do. And I think that's pretty much the gist, is it not, Kirsten? For not having any notes in front of me.
I know, I really.
Yeah, that's right. No, you did a great job, Shannon. Just a little bit more information. So as Shannon said, we haven't done these events for the last couple of years due to the pandemic. And so we lost a little momentum and institutional knowledge, but we fortunately had the amazing Terry Schroeder step up again to be the vendor coordinator. And Shannon stepped up with some support from patients to be the kind of the chair and organizer of the event overall. We've had a great committee of people who have helped pull all the many different pieces together. We have thanks to the Housing and Homelessness Coalition for putting out announcements and flyers about the event. The big ask of all of you today is to take those flyers and get them distributed out to all the people that you work with, all of your clients and guests, and make sure that they know to come to the event next week. The event's next week. A lot of effort goes into putting these on, and we want to make sure that there's lots of people there to take advantage of all the resources that are available at these giveaway fairs, at these services fairs. So please make sure that you take a look at the flyers that went out in the Housing Coalition newsletter update this week, and put them on your bulletin boards, hand them out to your guests and clients to remind them to go. There's a lot going on in people's lives, and we don't want them to forget about it. There will be a hot meal at each of the events. There's all kinds of services and help for various different parts of making your life work well. So we really, really want to get as many folks as we can there. Also, part of that is the point in time count, which is also next week. There's a lot of work being done internally in the Housing and Homelessness Division to help organize the 100 or so volunteers that go out to all the food banks and meal sites and Project Connect events to do surveying. If you haven't yet, we still can take a little bit of volunteers, and Corey has kindly put the outreach volunteer registration in the chat. We have quite a bit of volunteers, but we can always use some more, especially for outreach. And this year, we're also very excited because for the first time for the point in time count, we have some awesome outreach professionals Jared with the Heart program, and Patience and Sam with the Heart Outreach team. We have the Real teams. Anton and the awesome Hospitality Northwest crew are going to help out again. So we really have even more solid plan than we've ever had in years past to make sure we don't miss anybody outside. But we can still use help with that outreach surveying, as well as if there's any places that you know of, there are people who are in encampment, particularly ones that might be a little harder to find. If you wouldn't mind dropping a line to Corey or me, and we'll get them on the list of places to visit during the outreach surveying. That would be awesome. So thanks everybody. A lot of folks have pitched in and big ways and little ways to pull these events together and help with the point in time count. And we're really, really appreciative of it. And we're really hoping to have super successful events next week. That's everything, unless there's questions or anybody wants any additional information. I know we've been
I
talking.
just wanted to add that if you're planning on participating in the point in time count but haven't registered yet, please do, so I can email you with the information that you'll need for your opportunities. So right now, we can still take outreach volunteers, especially in the central Kitsap area, maybe a few in Bremerton and North Kitsap, but we're getting pretty close to what we need. But like I said, if you're planning on participating, please sign up so I can make sure to email you the information you need for your opportunities.
Thank you so much, Corey. And Corey really has been the mastermind behind the volunteer organization this year. So we really appreciate all the work that he's been doing, making sure everybody knows where to go and what to do and when to be there. So thanks very much, Corey. Any other comments or questions or additional information? All right, well, thanks everybody for your help advertising the event. It's that's the most important thing at this point. Thank you.
Much appreciation to Kirsten, Shannon, Terry, and everyone who is serving as a vendor at Project Connect. I think we have some new people here, and so Kirsten described it, but if you're not sure what Project Connect is, it's just like a resource fair. And so, like Kirsten said, there's a hot meal. There's lots of service providers that provide information and maybe some material goods, and I think there's some healthcare offered. And it also supports the point in time count because it lets us kind of gather more people who might be living unsheltered to count and connect with them. So thank you.
Can I have one more thing, Lisa? So it also, the event is not only for people who are experiencing homelessness. It is also for people who are housing insecure or unstably housed or at risk of losing their housing. So any sort of low income folks that are having struggles with housing are definitely welcome. We don't turn anybody away. And we're, more than happy to have them access the resources as well. So yeah, don't be shy about spreading the word. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Kirsten, just before I switch on, do you have any other updates from the county that you wanted to share with the group?
I think just that, we are really working in addition to preparing for the point in time count and supporting the Project Connect event planning. We've just been working really hard on doing all of the wrap up for the end of the year. There's a tremendous amount of reporting requirements for our federal and state grants, and also trying to wrap up all the reimbursement requests for our 60 contracts or so that have to be submitted in order to wrap up the kind of end of the county fiscal year. So our office has been really, really busy with all these different projects. There's on the Pacific Building Shelter Project, not a lot to report. We did get the last of our big permit submitted, which is the building permit or the commercial tenant improvement permit. So now on that project, we're really just waiting on the permits to get approved. And then as quickly as possible, we'll shift into an RFP RFP for the general contractor to do the construction on that building. We're also working on the renewals for our 2-year homeless services and housing grant. We have to get all of the reimbursement requests processed so we know how much was spent out for 2022. And then based on that, we can start writing amendments for the contracts for 2023. And Virginia and Leah are working very hard on that. So anyway, that's basically what's keeping us occupied for 2023. And we appreciate all of your help and participation with getting those year-end contracts and reimbursement requests wrapped up. I think that's everything. Anybody else from my team have anything to report? Corey, Virginia, yeah, anything? Okay, everybody's smiling tiredly.
Well, thank you so much, our Division on Housing and Homelessness at the county. We know you do a lot, and you have a good crew, and just thank you for your support. Hey, Terry, welcome. I don't know if you just joined us. Shannon and Kirsten shared a little bit about Project Connect earlier, but I do want to extend thanks just to, we recognize that you've done a lot to help coordinate and get it launched this year. So much appreciation to you. I would say there was a question in the chat about the dates. And so I'm going to share the specific dates, or if you'd like, Terry, if you could just share what the different Project Connect sites are and the dates again, just so it's firm in everyone's mind.
Sure, I could do that. The first day is Tuesday, January 24th, next Tuesday, at North Kitsap at the Gateway Fellowship Church in Hallsville. And then Wednesday is the 25th in Bremerton at the Salvation Army. And thanks, Kirsten, that helps. And then Thursday is South Kitsap at the Port Orchard Methodist Church in downtown Port Orchard. And so those are the 3. And if anybody would like flyers, I can send them, or Kirsten can send them. Just you can put it in chat, and one of us can pick it up and send it, or Shannon, any of us can. And on the right side of this, it gives some of the services and informational services that will be available. Different services at different sites. We have a total of close to 40 agencies that are attending, and some are attending all 3. Most are attending 1 or 2 sites. And Bremerton has the most. North Kitsap has a lot, has almost as many as Bremerton. And South Kitsap is a little bit lower, but still a good number of agencies.
Well, we appreciate everything that this Project Connect team has done to get it launched. Terry, you are part of it. Thank you for being here today. And Katie Sharp, who posts the newsletters for the Kitsap Housing and Homelessness Coalition, will also send them out via newsletter in case there are those of you who are still.
And I can show you everybody where to find them on our website as well, because they're always available on our website. And we are always trying to improve the resources that are on our website. We are working on that, but you definitely can find the Project Connect flyers on there. So do you want me to share?
Go for it, Katie.
My Zoom has been quitting unexpectedly, so I apologize if that happens, right now. Can you see my screen?
I can see a blank or a black screen. There's nothing
Yeah,
on it. though.
it's continuously quitting, so as much as I want to help everyone, oh my gosh. So if somebody else wants to bring up the KAHC, the Kitsap HHC.web.
Yeah, go ahead and stop sharing, Katie, and I can do that.
My Zoom, it does not want to work today. So I'm back, but there's no way I can share, I don't think.
Just give me a moment, everyone, to queue it up.
Thanks, Lisa.
Sure. And please know, coalition members, please do check out the website. I think we're starting to think about what information you need to know. And some queries that I've gotten so far have been primarily about the free meals flyer and the resource flyer. Which the Housing and Homelessness Coalition, we update those. So we're in the process of updating the resource flyer. We hope to have that out by Project Connect. But right now we have severe weather shelter information. We have Project Connect information. If you scroll down a bit further, we have the agenda posted, the registration link. We've got our mailing list. We've got all the archived newsletters that you could possibly, if there's any update that you missed, Katie's really good about getting information out to everyone. And we've got all the Project Connect flyers that you can download from our website as well. So there's a lot of information, but we can pare it down or try to highlight things that you need. Just contact that admin email and we'll make improvements as you recommend them. Let me stop sharing. And I wanted to start with agency updates now. So if you have an update to share from your agency, please do put your name in the chat now. I'm going to start with Eric from Salvation Army. I think there's been some changes there and he's also looking for some support. So Eric, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on at Salvation Army and what sort of support you all need?
Sure. Thanks for having me, and hi all my friends out there. We are going to be closing our overnight shelter for the first time in 3 years at the end of April. So April 30th, I believe, is a Sunday. May 1st, we'll be just going back to what Salvation Army has routinely done through the summer, and that's serve breakfast and lunch with social services during the morning and afternoon times. So right now we are looking for partners to provide an evening meal and also a weekend meal. Said Lord's Diner used to do Saturday, now there is no more Lord's Diner, so there's a Saturday opening. And that's why I was wondering about that other organization, the FHPM, and I've not been able to be in touch with Mr. Jackson, unfortunately, so I'll just keep reaching out and see if I can get them. I thought maybe they'd attend today. We are going to, like I said, be closing the shelter, so we're going to be really busy trying to get people housed and working with ACR a lot, of course, and all the other partners that we have out there for housing. DSHS is an organization that we use pretty extensively.
Eric, is this a temporary change or is it for the foreseeable future? Like, is
well, we'll be closed until December 1st. I'm guessing right now, but I think the normal winter shelter has been December, January, February, and March. So because we have our county funding had gone through April of this year, we're having an extra month on top of what would normally be, but I think we'll probably go back to being a winter shelter December through March normally, and just provide those regular services through the day during the spring, summer, and fall. So that may change a little bit. I'm sure people know we're probably working to purchase Monica's next door. Not because we don't like Monica's, but because we would like a food bank as well, and we see it as an opportunity to kind of extend our campus a little bit, have a really nice food bank facility to do client choice food distribution from, rather than just one of the rooms of our building here. So I think it'll increase a lot of opportunity for us. And in the back, I think we're planning on having like a community garden to bring fresh veggies and stuff to that pantry. So that's kind of the way we're going right now. Of course, I'm not in charge of anything. I'm told what to do by the captains. They have the big picture, working with the county, and things could change a little, but that's what we're looking at right now.
Well, thank you so much for the update, Eric, and for being here today. I think it might be a good idea if you want to put like the appropriate contact to reach you. If there's someone that might be able to support, if you want to put your email in the chat or another contact for that, please do. And does anyone have any questions for Eric regarding the Salvation Army?
We will be participating in the Project Connect, right? Obviously on the 25th, the Wednesday. It's going to be here a week from today. We'll look forward. We're having upstairs and downstairs. Client services will look a little different than that. Probably won't affect anybody here. Have a little extra security on site, but we're all prepared for that. So, and Shannon, yes, you got your meals for Thursday at Port Orchard already set up.
Well, thank you so much, Eric, and much gratitude to the Salvation Army and all that you do for the people here in Kitsap. Again, just put your contact information in the chat so that people, if they're able to support with the evening volunteer times and meal service, they know where to go.
Thank you.
Okay, next agency update is from Bremerton Housing Authority. Katie, you're up.
So I was going to share my screen, but I'm going to just put the links in the chat instead. I don't know why my Zoom keeps crashing, but can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I have two updates. I don't know if anybody's heard, but the project-based voucher waitlist will be opening on January 27th. From 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. So it's next Friday. We're only opening for 8 hours again because the properties are limited. So this is not like the housing choice vouchers where it's a longer wait list, but we have more vouchers. We only have a little over 250 units under project-based voucher program in our portfolio. So once somebody is offered a unit and they qualify and they're eligible and they take the unit after a year of living in that unit and it's in one of our Bremerton properties, they will have an option to have a housing choice voucher to move anywhere. But since this is particular to project-based vouchers, I just wanted to describe that. It is a little bit more limited. So I'm going to share the link. It's at bremertonhousing.org/rentcafe, and there's a lot of resources, flyers. I even have a presentation that I did last time. I'll just share the link, and then I encourage you to go through that and print the flyers, distribute them, talk about the wait list. We're going to be joining Project Connect all 3 days next week to talk about the wait list, as well as help register for our online portal, which is Rent Cafe. We have over 4,000 registered right now, so it's just going to be as easy as logging into your account and clicking a few buttons to apply. So the application usually is the easy part. It's actually getting an account, having an email that usually is more difficult, and that can be done right now. You don't have to wait till the wait list is open. So we've had really good feedback, and this is the third time we're using Rent Cafe to open a wait list. And so that's my first update. Is there any questions on the project-based voucher wait list opening? And then the second is actually the same program, project-based vouchers, but we just issued an RFP, and anybody who has units, any agency who has units that they want to be subsidized, we're offering 50 units in Bremerton and 49 through Housing Kitsap. So that means that you can apply through the RFP process and be assigned units. And so that will be in our project-based voucher program. Again, we have some PBVs, and then we're offering PBVs to others in the community. So we're just trying to get the word out. Again, I'm going to put the link in the chat. You'll find more information on our website. Again, it's a little confusing because it's the same program, but two different sides of it. So if you have any questions, I'm always here. I will put my contact information in the chat, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Okay, and let's see, Shannon, you have an update from PCHS?
Yes, I do actually have an update in an ask. First update is that we are still moving forward with the respite center. Hopefully we'll start that process and work within the next 60 days if everything goes according to plan. And hopefully that will be done by the end of January. It's something that we are looking forward to doing. We know what it will bring to the community as well. Hopefully we'll be able to open it up sooner rather than later, but it is scheduled to go through up until around the March-April timeframe of 2024. So that is looking good. We're still moving forward with that. The second is kind of like that. Due to certain situations, I am currently looking for some parking spaces to house a rather large fleet that we have. So if anybody has any open parking spaces, I have vehicles that are transit vehicles, cargo vehicles. Please reach out to me and we can have a discussion in that. So aside from that, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon. Any questions? Okay, thank you again, Shannon. Roland has an update about Project Share.
Well, good afternoon. Did everyone hear me okay with this? My internet speed is not greatest. Good. So last spring, Project Share was the organization that had built about a dozen or so tiny cabins to create a tiny village. We had made a decision last spring that we were going to liquidate if we didn't find a site. We thought we had a site. We've been working on it throughout the fall and summer. We're now back to square one with no site. So unless we come up with a site again, we're going to start liquidating the tiny cabins. And we've got, in addition to the 9 by 12 cabins, we've also got a 10 by 30 trailer that was refurbished as a kitchen facility. So we're going to be meeting on the 8th of February to finalize our plans. If any organization has some ideas of either a location or a great use for a shed or a trailer, please get in touch with me. Thank you much. Any questions?
So Roland, just to clarify, you have like little tiny shelters that you're trying to rehouse?
Yeah, these were, we call them the tiny cabins. They're 9 by 12, essentially they're a shed. Basic electricity within them. They're unfinished inside. They were destined to be used for a tiny village, but the challenge has been finding a suitable site to place it.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Roland. Maybe someone can rehouse them here. Okay, moving to the next update, if there are no questions for Roland. Robert Wilson wanted to share that the EWCC has their resident application online for anyone to apply. And their website is eagleswingsccnet.net and just have to click to apply. There's not going to be any other information on that because Robert Wilson's mic is not cooperating. But thank you for the information. Jeff Coughlin from City Council, you have an update.
Yeah, and one quick follow on to the PCHS Respite Center. The city did commit funds to that in the budget last year. So I want to mention council pointed that out. But the other exciting update, and thanks so much to Anna Mockler for reminding me because I forgot, it's been a busy week. But last week, the council approved, thanks to KCR and the mayor bringing it to us, $500,000 of American Rescue Plan Act funds for KCR to help purchase Mills Crossing, which is a condominium complex up near Kitsap Transit. But if all goes well, they have matching funds from the county and they have to apply for a grant. But if they get that grant money and they are able to purchase it, it provide permanent supportive housing for up to 150 residents. So fingers crossed that all goes through, but would be a great project for our community. So I just wanted to share that out. And I know, Anna, you think you'll follow up.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Any questions for Jeff?
I think Anna might have more info.
Okay. Anna, I see you there. I'm just closing up Jeff's update. You have the floor, Anna.
Great, thank you. Hello all. Just wanted to make sure Tony Ivy of KCR did present, but he was presenting from a really wonderful new coalition, the Housing Coalition. If I missed somebody, I beg your pardon right now. It's KCR, be at Bremerton Housing Authority, Kirsten Jules Housing and Kitsap Housing and Homelessness. There are others, and I'm sorry it's so new that I've forgotten them. And it's an agreement to not compete, but to like just go, okay, we're going to look for example, we're going to look for housing for disabled people. And we over here are going to look for a different type of housing. A lot of this is of the specific Miller's Crossing is based on Department of Commerce loans that are 1% and are specifically interested in exactly this. So this was just a wonderful development. And they are targeting EIL, extremely low income people. I think it's like 30% of annual median income, which annual median income, as you all know, in Kitsap County just went up to 1,025. And council actually has an opportunity to crank it down from 80% of AMI to 60% of AMI. They're targeting families, which are a difficult group to place. And I just think these units are brand new condos. Many of them have not been occupied. It's near transit. It's like actual great housing. So I just wanted to fill in those few details. Thank you all.
Thanks, Anna.
Lisa, do you mind if I just clarify just a few points?
Not at all. Go for it.
Yeah, this is Matt from KCR, and thank you so much for the kind words that you said about the application and moving forward, and Jeff as well. I did just want to clarify, it's 36 units, so the idea would be 18 would be for permanent supportive housing for chronic and homeless families, and then 18 would be targeted for low-income families. And those low-income families would be preferences with housing choice vouchers, since we have such a low vacancy rate, or we have such a high number of folks with housing choice vouchers, right, and they need units. So it's kind of a combination there, but it'll be a half homeless service project, half low income. Yeah, Anna, do you have a question on that?
No, I have a Kitsap Transit update for whenever my place in the queue comes up. No, that sounds great. Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, and it is, we're still early in this project. We're still waiting for the Housing Trust Fund is the funder that we're still waiting for a pretty sizable application to come through, and that will hopefully we'll have some news in March when we actually get that. But it's still a little bit of ways, but we're all really excited and hope it can move forward. And then just to clarify further, because I know we're trying not to use the coalition for the kind of housing developers. I think we're calling it consortium or whatnot, but essentially it's just those that are interested in developing housing. We're trying to have a pipeline and not compete. So it's different than this coalition, just to clarify. I think it is a coalition, but not this. This is really dedicated homeless service folks, whereas this is more agencies, and anyone is welcome to come. And if those are interested, I encourage you to reach out to Jill or Tony or myself. But those are folks that are interested in actually developing housing. And so that's just a little subtle difference, but it's definitely not exclusive. It's anyone that's welcome. And we're not fully quite yet to the point of meeting monthly. I think the goal is quarterly with maybe some committees meeting monthly. But hopefully we'll have some more details when we're a little more organized for folks. And that was, I know Jill and Tony were heading up those, and Kirsten were heading up those groups. Kirsten, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Matt, can I ask you a question? At this point, I think you guys covered it really well. I think it's still unfolding and in development and more to come.
Just for clarification, what is that called? Because it's not the Kitsap Housing and Homelessness Coalition. It's something different. Is the name still in development, Matt?
Yeah, we're waiting for Katie to help us with the name.
Okay.
Well, last time I heard Tony was calling it a task force, but I haven't heard anything since. But keep that in mind. A lot of help will maybe come from this group too, as far as what that affordable housing group will do to develop more housing in Kitsap.
Okay, thank you all for the clarification. Bridget, I know you have a question for Matt. Go for it. Anna, you will be after Bridget.
Matt, with the permanent supportive housing units, would they have access to services 24/7?
Yes. Yes. I mean, so it's families. So we won't have case managers on site 24/7. We'll have case managers on site, hopefully 8 to 10 hours a day. We will have a staff member. We think right now it'll be a maintenance person for emergencies 24/7, but it won't be as intensive as like Towns in Place where you have staff around the clock. So it's more intensive than some of our long-term units now, but not quite the level of support.
I was getting excited thinking you could take some on my priority pool of those units.
No. This is not a compete with Towns in Place at all. Towns in Place is singles. This would be for families. So this is only families that are chronically homeless that the head of household has a disability. So no. We need your type of units, but this is not that.
That is huge, Matt, because we don't have the units for families. That is huge. I think that would be amazing for our community.
Yeah, thank you, Bridget. I really hopefully we'll have some more. This is so new. The application just went out, and we're gathering support. And so hopefully down the line we can do a more formal presentation, and definitely we'll announce as soon as we if we get the money to do it from the Housing Trust Fund. We'll definitely let everybody know for sure. Thank you all for the kind words of support. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt. Anna, you have an update from Kitsap Transit?
I do. I am on the Kitsap Transit Board, and a meeting, a special informational meeting on Tuesday morning. Director Clausen mentioned that he's going to pitch to the board that a pilot project be expanded to Bremerton, where they have two different names for it, and he's calling them, he says they'll be the same for this program. They have a thing called Dial-A-Ride, and they have it in Bainbridge, they have it in Paulsbo, they have it in Silverdale. I think they might even have it in Port Orchard, but they do not have it in Bremerton. But they're planning to do a pilot project for Sunday service, and they want to know if people would be interested. So my experience has been that heck yeah, people would be super extremely very interested. So I'm gonna, if you know people who would be interested in being able to get around and about on Sundays, please have email Kitsap Transit. There's somebody from Kitsap Transit here, right? Isn't there?
Yes, I'm here. This is Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle, if you could post the correct information into the chat so that I don't have to dig through all my files. Anyhow, it's something that I would definitely email Kitsap Transit and go, heck yeah, we would be interested in Sunday. I have been pushing for Dial-A-Ride, every single meeting for many, many months now, ever since I discovered it. It's a way for them to discover where they need more routes. It would make a lot of sense, and I truly do not understand why they feel it would cost too much to extend it to Bremerton, the largest city on the Kitsap Peninsula. So anyhow, it's a small good thing. It's not a great thing, but a small good thing is pretty decent. And thank you, Michelle, for offering to post the stuff in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Brenda Lisa, do you have an update for us?
I don't necessarily have an update, and I apologize for coming in late. I did have a question to go back to the previous question with Matt. I was just wondering, when do you expect occupation of these units?
Yeah, it's a great question. So right now, there's already some tenants there, and so because this project wasn't developed, originally with affordable housing in mind, it's an acquisition that we're using the Housing Trust Fund Rapid Acquisition Grant. The whole point of that would be to rapidly acquire units. So it will be a little bit because there's some folks already there, and we're not planning on forcing anybody out. Those folks would leave, on their own terms. So some of the whole 36 units, right, it's going to take a little bit of time. But the idea would be if we actually get the grant in March, hopefully by summer we can start moving folks in, but not like any in the next few months. Probably not till Q2 or later in the summer we begin anticipate actually getting everything moved in. But the idea is definitely this year to get folks in if we get funding and we're able to purchase it and everything goes right. We got to have a little time to kind of set up some of the staffing side, but that is the idea, to get the project going as fast as possible.
Okay, and I know that Marwan had an update he wanted to go at the end. Marwan, are you ready?
Am I coming through okay?
You are.
Happy New Year's, everyone. I haven't seen everyone. This is our first meeting. I have several updates. One is starting in February, we are going to be in the BCAT studios, and the purpose is to capture our elders' voices. Seems like we are losing our elders on a weekly basis. So we're going to be capturing those stories. So if you know of any elders that would like to have their stories captured, or any of other BIPOC individuals or advocates to talk about the history of Kitsap County, Loxie Egan's, Quincy Jones, even some of the contemporary history like Akuye or Roosevelt Smith. We want to start creating a digital catalog of these stories. We think this is really important. So that's going to start February, and then we will do that every month into perpetuity if allowed. So please spread the word on that. Also, we are one of the agencies that is partnering for the tax credit. So more information will come out soon. We will have our computer labs open. We'll be doing quite a bit of outreach on this to get as much dissemination as possible. Folks will be able to come in and get assistance if they need it, because that can be kind of scary and daunting. Another thing is we are growing pretty rapidly in regards to the conduit. So we are looking for volunteers. So if you know of any volunteers that would like to help us out to have broader coverage. We are being asked to cover more and more events, and we want to try to elevate as many organizations and individuals and activities as possible. So that would be awesome. I just put in the chat. We're also trying to encourage folks to vote, and we're kind of focused on the Bremerton and Port Orchard area. So again, need some help with that to kind of advocate folks, especially our youth. We see that as being very important. On February 4th, which is a Saturday at 2 p.m., is Transit Equity Day. So instead of having our pancake breakfast on the fourth Thursday, which is Project Connect, we're going to push that into that day. We're going to celebrate. And so we'll be doing a food spread there and just kind of talking about the history, things like Rosa Parks and how that impact on civil rights, kind of push those things forward and acknowledge that. We'll also be rolling out quite a bit of programming centered around transportation equity here in Kitsap County. And then also, we have interviewed more executive directors this year. Tony Ives comes on a regular basis now. Jason from Kitsap Regional Library has appeared on. So if you would like to elevate your organization, please just reach out to us, and we're more than happy to do that for you. And then lastly, we are still providing free rides for vaccines and boosters. So you can just call our office and get that set up for those that are either disabled or elderly. We still are offering that service. I think that is all of our updates.
Thank you, Marwan. Just a clarifying question about the elder stories.
Mhm.
Would the G2 email be the place to refer people? Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to create a kind of a single spot instead of sending people, use this email for that, use that email for this. So everything can go to gather the number two, grow at G the number two, G the number two.org. And I'll put that in the chat.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Marwan. I don't know what it takes to run a podcast, but I think it takes a full-time job. So thank you for doing that and being like an executive director of Gather Together, Grow Together. If anyone can do it, Marwan can. All right. I just wanted to give a little. Wait, Jeff, did you have your hand up? Did you have a question for Marwan?
I messaged Marwan directly. All good.
Okay. Just a preview of next month's meeting. We're going to reflect on Project Connect. So that is a time where you can give input to make iterative improvements for next year. Kirsten's going to share some information on the state of housing and homelessness as per my request, because I think I'm getting questions and I think it would be a good thing to get that information to everyone. And I may also invite the library's director, Jason Driver, to come. So thank you all for being here. Do we have any last agency updates before we call the meeting for today? Okay, much appreciation to all of you. I look forward to seeing many of you in person at Project Connect next week. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So you can see that was chock full of information today.
Hey, Matt, can you stay on for a second since you're still on? Nice.
Just a really good episode. Lisa, I'm going to drop off, but I know I owe you an email. But yes, we will be there in March to do the same thing we intended to do in December. Just with all my ML King duties, I've been overwhelmed. So I have not had a chance to start digging into my emails.
Just tell me how I can contribute to Gather Together, Grow Together. I couldn't find a donate place on your website. So
I know we're horrible, right? We got to work on that. We will work on that.
Well, how are you going to get money if you don't have the donate?
I'm a win-win too. I wanted to help support you. I'm asking Marwan to make.
Marwan, if millennials, if it takes more than 3 seconds to donate money, you've lost them.
I know. You know what? We're so busy doing the work. We're too busy to ask for money. That's been our challenge. It's so crazy.
Marwan, are we
No, we're not gonna. So on the days we do this, I think this is all the updates, and it goes pretty long. And you guys commit to every other Wednesday, so yeah, I will see you next Wednesday. All right, thanks for a great meeting, guys. Bye bye. All right, everyone, you just finished watching the live broadcast of the Kitsap Housing and Homeless Coalition. As I said, this was going to be chock full of information today, quite a bit. This thing was full. You talk about 90 minutes, jam packed. As I said in the updates, we're going to be doing quite a bit of things. The elder stories, the tax credit, which is really a big one. So stay tuned for that. Definitely, we're going to be like a broken record in this community trying to get that information out so that you can get all the assistance that you can in these coming days. And then also, we do need conduit volunteers, right? Look, we definitely need volunteers. Look, the folks want to donate money that can't even give us money. That's a problem. We got to fix that immediately. So we're going to be on to it. And then, like I said, Transit Equity Day is coming up Saturday, February 4th at 2 p.m. And that'll be at New Horizon Ministries, 4040 Wheaton Way, Suite 203, where we have our pancake breakfast every fourth Thursday. So hopefully you'll join us then. And, we're going to give a shout out to our Kitsap Transit bus drivers because we so appreciate them and the work that they do. And then lastly, if you do have, well, not lastly, but if you do have folks that are elderly that want to document some of that history, please have them contact us so we can go ahead and get them interviewed. And then, of course, lastly, there are still free rides for those that need to get vaccinated or boosted. I just had COVID in December. You saw it. So, it's still going around and there is a new strain. So that is also going around. I don't know if it's in Kitsap County yet. But all these things are so very important. Again, Project Connect next week, Tuesday, January 24th, January 25th, and January 26th, 10 to 12 p.m., Paulsville, Bremerton, and Port Orchard, respectively. Govern yourselves accordingly. I am R1 Cameron. This is The Conduit. We'll see you tonight at 5:30.